All right, what's up, guys? Welcome to halftime here on the Cyclone Fanatics social media network. 28-17, Iowa State leads Oregon halftime of the PlayStation Fiesta Bowl. We're going to get to our player thoughts. Bret, Meyer, and Todd Blythe have both stopped by. Then we're going to go to Glendale and talk to Jared Stansbury, who is there covering the game for CycloneFanatic.com. Fareway, Centurion Stone of Iowa, Nebraska Furniture Mart have been with us all season long. We thank them for their sponsorship. These interactive halftime shows have been super popular and something we're going to keep building on in the future. Real quick, a few stats that are notable. The time of possession's the big one. Iowa State has had the ball for nearly 22 minutes compared to 8 by Oregon, and the Cyclones have a 28-17 lead. Let's bring in Bret Meyer and Todd Blythe here. Guys, I mean, this is oddly Bret's always talking me off the ledge at halftime. Bret, Iowa State's up 28-17. Like, I'm a little, I still feel frustrated a little bit. Like, you feel like it was a good half, but you left some out there, and defensively, Iowa State's given up 9 yards per play. What did you make of what you saw in the first 30 minutes?
Yeah, I would agree. I think number one, if you have, what do we have? 2 or 3 plays from the 1 yard line. Yeah. And, the right guard just gets beat across his face, and defensive line, D tackle makes a good play, but that should never happen. We should score in that situation. And even if we don't score, right, then you want to be able to say, okay, you got 99 yards to go, and then we're set up for, having good field position, and we don't score and then give a 99-yard drive, and then on the last drive, when they had the ball before half, we're lucky that they had a holding penalty or, they score a touchdown there. So defensively, look like we're a little bit on our heels, and maybe they're a step quicker than what we've seen, and that causes some hesitation. But, I have the trust in our defensive staff. I think we'll come out and bring some more pressure in the second half. You saw that a little bit on the second to last possession. We brought some pressure, and I don't think their quarterbacks are anybody that we need to fear. That they're going to be able to pick us apart if we bring pressure. So I would anticipate maybe we see more of that in the second half.
Yeah, Todd, the defense has been interesting, but we've seen this, right? I mean, Iowa State has started slow defensively all year. Probably not this slow. This one's a little more extreme to me, but don't you think John Haycock finds a way to bring more pressure in the second half?
Oh, absolutely. I think one thing we've shown throughout the season is that our defense makes great adjustments at halftime, and I think that today will hold true and be the same. One good thing that kind of something we talked about on the pregame show is we haven't given up big chunk plays. They've had to earn it. They've had to have long, sustained drives. I think coming out of halftime, John Haycock will have our defense ready to go and make the adjustments we need to do, and they won't be able to go 99 yards on us like that. And then again, as Bret mentioned, we have to continue to do what we've been doing on offense, make it a slugfest and a power football game, and capitalize when we get down in inside the red zone, especially on the 1 yard line. You got to be able to punch stuff in. So,
well, the one thing I've noticed too is the tackling hasn't been great. It's rare for Iowa State to not be a great tackling team, borderline elite tackling team. So hopefully that clears up. Bret, the kicking game is something we've talked about at halftime a lot this year. What did you see when Iowa State got that turnover at the end of the half? Was that deliberate? I mean, that getting the ball like that isn't something that you plan, but how do you analyze that? And because they executed very well on that.
Yeah, I think that's something where we obviously we know our concerns and our struggles in the kicking game, and not being able to either kick it out of the end zone or kick it high and deep. We just can't do that, and it's cost us a couple games this year, I think. And our coaches knew that going in, and you could see that we tried that kind of what you would call that a pooch kick, and they fair caught it, and it was like where the ball was essentially on the 25, 30-yard line, just like it was a touchback. And maybe they saw something where there's a big gap or an opening if we kick it a couple yards deeper. We did it on the next one, and we stole the possession away. So I'm sure that's something that they obviously have worked on, and maybe we saw something the first time we did it, that there was an opening, and it worked. I mean, we stole a possession and got a touchdown out of the deal. So, I mean, that's good coaching, though. That's realizing that you have a weakness and trying to just figure out something that's going to work and not put us at risk as much, and we were able to do that. So it was obviously a huge bonus to be able to steal a possession.
Offensive coordinator Todd Blythe. Last question for you before we let you go. And beautiful tattoo as well, by the way, on your cheek. Love it. Iowa State, really a ball control type offense in the first half. That's I've hung out with Campbell enough to know that's what he loves. Tight ends catching the ball, running the football with a 2-possession lead. Now, I believe Oregon gets it in the first half, but do you expect to keep doing that? I mean, if you have a 2-possession lead, why take risks? Or do you think that they'll open it up? Purdy seemed to be moving pretty well at the quarterback run game. What do you think that they do offensively in half number 2?
I mean, I don't think they're going to change a thing. I mean, this is what our offense is. We're built for a 2-touchdown lead. I mean, hand the ball to 28, throw the ball to our 3 big tight ends. Even when we throw to our receivers, we're not taking shots downfield. I mean, it's a ball control offense. We're built for this. So I mean, I love our chance in the second half just simply for the fact that we can continue to run Iowa State and our offense and what we've done well all season, and it matches up perfect for the situation that we're in.
All right, you guys feel good about the second half? Before I let you go and go to Glendale, we'll talk to Stansbury.
Feel great.
I do. I like our chances.
All right. Well, appreciate it. This has been fun. You guys can join me for basketball halftimes whenever you want. Okay.
I'm an expert, so I'm definitely gonna be dialing in.
I think I shot 48% from the free throw line my senior year. I don't know if you guys want me on many more basketball analysis.
Just, Todd's the single guy who lives alone at home, and he has a face tattoo of an Iowa State. So.
Hey, my 3-year-old son wanted one, and then he wanted daddy and grandpa to get one too. Yeah. So we got one too.
Okay. All right, get out of here.
Hello.
Yeah,
will do.
Enjoy the second half, fellas. Iowa State leads Oregon 28-17. All right, let's go to Glendale, live from the Fiesta Bowl, where Jared Stansbury's there for CycloneFanatic.com. What's the atmosphere like? It seems a little eerie on TV. It doesn't seem like they're piping in crowd noise or anything. Like, I don't know. It doesn't seem like I was about to say BCS game, a New Year's Six game. Oh my God, what's going on with Jared's microphone? Jared, Jared, you were very tinny right there. If you could connect a different microphone, I think it might be a Mac thing. We'll go back to Jared. I'm going to run through a few more stats here. Another thing I noticed, and I should have asked the players about this, but it seemed like it was getting really chippy in the second quarter between those two football teams. And that's something that can help you, I guess, if you have more composure than the other team. I would like to think Iowa State will, be more the older team, more mature team. But nonetheless, I thought a guy like Isheem Young, who was ejected from that Oklahoma game a couple of weeks ago, a little too close for comfort on a few of those. And that's something I would keep an eye on here in the second half. You know that Oregon defense has to be getting worn out on the field nearly 22 minutes in that first half. Penalties, Iowa State played a very clean game, 1 for 5 yards. Brock Purdy was magnificent, 13 for 16. So as Bret kind of pointed out, you're basically doing whatever you want offensively, but how do you clean it up on defense? Let's see if we can get Stansbury back now. Yeah, you got something going on with your microphone, buddy. It's okay. No worries at all. As Jared Stansbury's down there, he'll have complete coverage after the game with everything that we're doing here at CycloneFanatic.com. But guys, this is a good spot. Again, to reiterate my opinion on this, didn't feel great. I kind of wanted more. Felt like Iowa State played better than to have an 11-point lead in that half. But then I thought about it, and it's like, okay, this is New Year's Six Bowl. You're up double digits at halftime. Don't get too greedy here. They've played solid football up front offensively. This will be the key. And I think we pointed out the time of possession thing. If you think about the theme for Iowa State's defense for most of the year, they've been really, I wouldn't say slow to adjust, but it takes them a couple of possessions, right? Oregon, they didn't have any tape on Oregon going up against a dime stack defense like Iowa State likes to play. And I think it's taken them a little bit longer. You've got to factor in Their first possession's 3 minutes, boom, go down and score. Okay, let's make some adjustments. Well, they fumbled. They really haven't had much of an opportunity to move. So I'm really fascinated. Oregon comes out with the football to start the third quarter. My gut tells me that the professor, John Haycock, brings it. And I don't know where it's going to come from, but I think the professor, John Haycock, brings it. We've seen him do it time and time again. If you go back to what he did to Spencer Rattler in October, what he did last week, the last game, we thought that Oklahoma was going to run all over Iowa State, and then they shored things up. We will see. That's my projection. If you keep that lead, the 2-score lead, I really like Iowa State's chances, especially with Brock Purdy in the quarterback run game. I think that they did enough dink and dunking, the 5-yard stuff here, the Brees Hall there, where they're going to be able to take some shots if they need to in the second half. Hopefully it's not going to be the case. You'd like to get to a point in this football game where, you can kind of just run out the clock. That'd be fantastic. 28-17, Iowa State with the lead. That's all I got for you guys. Appreciate it. I'm going to do instant reaction live here on the stream the second that this football game is over. Okay. So you guys can plan on that. I'm going to jump right back on this thing and do instant reaction. Then I'm going to drive into Des Moines to do Cyclone reaction on the Cyclone Radio Network. That's the plan. Thank you so much for hanging out. We appreciate it. We appreciate you guys supporting all of our programs and our sponsors throughout the year. And we got a lot more where this came from. Instant Reaction is presented each and every week by Carl Chevrolet, and we're going to do it right after the football game. Join me right here on the stream. For Matt Van Winkle producing today's program, we always appreciate his contributions. Thanks to Fareway, Centurion Stone of Iowa, and Nebraska Furniture Mart for their sponsorship. Have a great second half. And